Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff, aka GCurse here. Welcome to another episode of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Today I'll be covering I don't want to say I will because I'm not, but my Can I please get a second take on that? Anyway, my Uber sexy secretary, Jasmine, is going to be reading the case today to all of you awesome people, and I'm kind of glad that I actually have this ability because I'm dealing with a bad case of allergies this morning. We've had some real nice days over this last week, and of course, with it being real nice, that means the flowers are starting to bloom, which means fucking pollen and all that shit. And I woke up this morning and it felt like my nose was just like a faucet, and I'm thinking, oh god, I'm gonna be having to blow my nose, wipe my nose, and everything. And I was kind of thinking that everybody's going to think I'm some sort of raging crack fiend or something. But anyway, before we actually get to the video or to the case itself, let's take a quick look at the weather, shall we? So today in Kelso, as of here, let's see here. Can I see here? Is it F5? I think F5. Yep, F5 is the reload. So get the most up to date. It is currently, as of 7:49 a.m., it is currently 40 degrees. It actually feels a little bit colder than that. I actually consider this to be a dual layer morning. I have my trusty gray sweatshirt and a t-shirt underneath that, and I feel actually pretty nice and comfortable, but it is currently 40 degrees. It feels like 44. The wind is north at 2. It's nice with a wind gust of 3. The air quality is fair. Let's see here. Looking ahead, this late Wednesday through next Sunday is supposed to be rainy. Let's see here. And as you can see here, it looks like it's going to be actually pretty nice the entire day. We hit 68, 70, 72. So it looks like we peak out at 72 at 4 p.m., which is nice. So the 10-day forecast. Today through Tuesday, it's supposed to be pretty nice, and then the bottom drops out. I guess spring is going to be coming in. What's the old saying? Coming in like a lion or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, I think spring is on Tuesday. So the last day of winter, first day of spring, it's going to be nice, and then Wednesday it just fucking bottoms out. I think Tuesday's when we have spring. I may be wrong about that. Let's see here. We have here in Kelso, sunrise was at 7:21, so it just risen recently. Sunset is at 7:20, so we have a little over 12 straight hours of sunshine. 11 hours 59 minutes according to this. Okay, let's take a look at here. Allergy, which I'm dealing with. Tree pollen says low, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be high. It has to be high considering that we are having such nice weather. Mold and dust and dander are high. Everything else is basically low. And let's do a quick far out look. Now, this goes like for 45 days. I'm not going to look at every day. I'm just going to kind of do a quick look for the rest of this month. So March 16th through April 29th. See here. The last day, I think this is like a 30-day month or something like that. So let's just see here. Yeah, we're dealing with rain 99% of the time after this coming Wednesday. The only dry day after that looks like it could be Saturday the 30th. So, but yeah, so we got some wet weather that is slowly going to be, hold on, I don't know why I did that. Hold on, let's go back to that. We have some hot, wet weather that is slowly on the horizon. But anyway, so the case of Aeileen Conway, however you would like to pronounce this lady's name. Did I misspell it? I thought I had it spelled a certain way. Apparently not. Possibly. Hold on, let me just take a quick look on my computer. No, apparently I spelled it the correct way. But anyway, if this is the case, I think it is. I think they found that Aeileen was possibly murdered. They found her car basically, it was in flames, and it looked like it crashed into possibly like a guardrail or something. And the flames were so hot, the car actually melted to the guardrail itself. So, we're going to be hearing a lot about that when Jasmine takes over for me, and she is demanding a lot more airtime. I think her union is wanting to get involved, and they're literally raking me over some hot coals. They're like, you better give Jasmine more fucking time. So I'm like, whoa, dude, okay, man. But anyway, so we will get to the case reading right after these commercials from the 1970s. I'll be right back.
Details on a massive strike threat in the Southland on the news at 11.
ABC. Sunday. Movie. A world television premiere motion picture. The ABC Sunday Night Movie. Tonight, the world's greatest detectives gather for the world's deadliest game. Solving their own. Murder by Death. Eileen Brennan, Truman Capote, James Coco, Peter Falk, Alec Guinness, Elsa Lanchester, David Niven, Peter Sellers, Maggie Smith, Nancy Walker, and Estelle Winwood.
One of us is a mad killer.
The victim is here.
But who?
Should make exciting weekend.
Murder by Death.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great day. So, up next, we have the case reading of the Aeileen Conway, from the Unsolved Mysteries wiki. To those who are new to this series of videos that I like to produce, basically what it is that I have my oh my god, I am so out of it right now. My uber sexy secretary. I always tend to get those words fumbled. I have her read the Unsolved Mysteries wiki. Her name is Jasmine, as you can see right here, and her union has been kind of busting my balls. They've been telling me that I need to give her more airtime because apparently the union polled like the tens and thousands of people who basically watch my program, and they're saying like, fuck, get rid of Jeff, keep Miss Jasmine. So I am hereby trying to give Miss Jasmine some more airtime, basically. Hold on one second. Okay, so like I said, Miss Jasmine is going to read the Unsolved Mysteries wiki, and we'll get to that right now. So let's enlarge the screen. Nope, not that one. Jesus Christ. I've been doing some form of this show on and off for years, and I still can't get my shit correct. Okay, so let's read aloud.
Aeileen Conway.
Thank you.
Edit. Aeileen Conway. Real name: Aeileen and Conway nicknames: Aeileen Anderson, maiden name. Location: Lawton, Oklahoma. Date: April 29th, 1986. Case. Details: 50-year-old Aeileen Conway and her husband, Pat, had been married for 33 years and had 7 children. On the morning of April 29th, 1986, Aeileen disappeared from their home in Lawton, Oklahoma. At 10:40 a.m. that morning, a farmer in rural Oklahoma noticed an ominous plume of smoke rising from a nearby road. He called the authorities, and 20 minutes later, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol arrived at the scene. They found a burning car embedded in a deserted bridge. The heat was so intense that the car had actually melted into the metal guardrail into which it had crashed. Highway Patrol officers.
Okay, now one thing I forgot to kind of mention was that I and I already covered this case in a commentary form where there's a video, and I will actually post a link to that video in the description of this video. It'll take you to my not my YouTube, my Facebook page, and you can actually see the actual video there. Due to YouTube and their draconian system, a lot of what I like to produce regarding Unsolved Mysteries gets blocked, even though it falls under fair use. So you can actually find the video on Facebook if you're curious. Okay, Jasmine, you may now continue. Come on. Oh, fuck. Did I screw it up? I think I may have screwed it up. Hold on. Let's see here. I can't recall. I'm trying to remember if I can have it start at a selected location. Let's see here. Let's start here, Oklahoma. There. And then we will see if I can start from there.
Aeileen Conway.
Apparently
Edit.
not.
Aeileen Conway. Real name: Aeileen and Conway nicknames: Aeileen Anderson, maiden name. Location: Lawton, Oklahoma. Date: April 29th, 1986. AD. Advertisement.
Oh my god.
Case. Details: 50-year-old Aeileen Conway and her husband, Pat, had been married for 33 years and had 7 children. On the morning of April 29th, 1986, Aeileen disappeared from their home in Lawton, Oklahoma. At 10:40 a.m. that morning, a farmer in rural Oklahoma noticed an ominous plume of smoke rising from a nearby road. He called the authorities, and 20 minutes later, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol arrived at the scene. They found a burning car embedded in a deserted bridge. The heat was so intense that the car had actually melted into the metal guardrail.
Okay, there you go. Sorry, I had my mic muted for a second. So this is what I was talking about, how the vehicle was melted into the guardrail. That makes me wonder if maybe they poured like gas or they had some sort of accelerant, in the vehicle itself that caused it to burn that hot. Okay, so there you go. Now, it may take a second for the program to actually pick back up.
Guardrail into which it had crashed. Highway patrol officers discovered a body inside the car behind the front wheel. However, they were unable to get to the body initially because of the fire. By the time the flames subsided, the body was burned beyond recognition. Skid marks indicated that the car's speed at impact was 50 to 60 miles per hour. To the officers, it seemed like just another senseless accident. A computer check revealed the car belonged to Pat. The next day, the victim was identified as Aeileen. They lived 15 miles from the crash site. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol ruled her death a one-vehicle fatality accident. Within hours of the crash, however, a number of mysterious discrepancies emerged, which led Pat to believe that Aeileen had, in fact, been the victim of foul play. Pat is now certain that Aeileen was murdered and wants to find those responsible. He first became suspicious when he returned home a few hours after the accident. The patio door was wide open. Aileen's purse, which she always carried with her, was sitting by an armchair. Her driver's license and glasses were still in it. An ironing board was set up, and the iron had been left on. Water from a garden hose was running into the backyard swimming pool. Most significantly, in the master bathroom at the back of the house, the tub was still full of water, and the phone was off the hook. Pat believes that Aeileen attempted to make a phone call.
Okay, so this is one of the things that kind of always confused me, even when one of my friends that we used to do a podcast, we observed this case, or we watched this case, and neither me or him, his name was Aaron, we could not figure out why water was running into the pool and why the phone was off the hook, and the bathtub was full of water. The fact is that she also left her purse at home. Now, granted, I don't have a lady friend that, lives with me, but I'm pretty sure that, if a woman goes to leave the house and go driving, go somewhere, they're going to take the purse with them. So, this is one of those cases, it's very odd. Part of me wants to think that she could. The only theory that's running through my head right now that, as we're listening to Jasmine talk to us, the only theory that's running in my head is that possibly she could have had like a stroke or something, and she suffered some sort of memory problem, and then she ended up getting into the car. She probably had the self-awareness to try and go get help, but as she was driving, she possibly had like another attack or something, and then that's when she crashed. That's the only theory I have. If it was not murder, that's the way I can imagine it, because all this other stuff was going on at home. But that's just my theory. In the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think she was murdered? Do you think she may have had some sort of medical emergency? What do you think happened? Oh, God damn it. And like I said, it could be a second.
Call, possibly to the police department, and was interrupted. Another disturbing detail nagged at Pat. What was Aeileen doing out on that lonely country road? Neither of them had ever been in the area, and there was certainly no reason for her to be there by herself. Nothing about her death made sense. He contacted Ray Anderson of the district attorney's office. Anderson's first impression of the case was that Pat was a grieving spouse who was unable to grasp what had happened and wanted it to be something other than an accident. However, when he started looking at the extenuating and surrounding circumstances, such as the way she left her house, it led him to believe that foul play may have been involved. A few days later, Pat and Anderson went to the crash site, looking for clues. 200 feet from the bridge, they found a church bulletin in the grass. It belonged to the church that Pat and Aeileen attended. Pat had last seen it on the car's dashboard. Interestingly, Aeileen always drove with the windows rolled up and the air conditioning turned on. The bulletin could not have flown out of a moving car. The car had to have been stopped.
Okay, regarding the bulletin or the paper, if the car crashed, let's say that Aeileen had a medical emergency. She crashed into the guardrail. I'm wondering if that impact could have broken the window or the windshield, and then, like, say, wind or something could have blown that piece of paper out of the car. Then that's the only thing that I'm kind of formulating right here. Okay, let's see if it'll work. Come on. Come on. Is it going to work?
Stopped.
Okay.
Anderson believes that someone else was with her that day. He believes that they opened the door, set the accelerator, and slammed it into drive, hoping to run her and the car off into the creek and make it appear as though it was an accident. As a result of Anderson's investigation, the Lawton District Attorney changed the official cause of death from accidental to unexplained. The DA then asked the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and the state fire marshal to evaluate the likelihood of arson. Sonny Sansom of the fire marshal's office first became suspicious when he looked at the accident scene photographs and saw a large amount of fire damage inside the car. In fact, it was completely burned and destroyed. He thought that the burn was similar to what one would see when gasoline is used to set a fire. Another thing that made him suspicious was the fact that the gas cap was missing from the car. He noted that in most arson cases where a vehicle is involved, the gas cap is removed. This is usually done to help spread the fire.
Okay, now I'll be honest, I can't recall exactly every aspect of this case. When I did the Unsolved Mysteries commentary, which, like I said, I'll post a link to, it was over a year ago, so I can't really recall that much, and I can't recall if it mentions anything in the wiki. But the question ultimately is, why would they kill her? a lot. They say that there's a core set of reasons that somebody is killed. It's either money, it could be like a sex reason, like a relationship reason, or drugs or something like that. So I'm wondering if it actually mentions like why, what the theory is, because right now it just seems like if she was murdered, that and like an innocent lady was just killed, what's the reasoning? I like to have I like to hear the reasoning of why something like this would happen. Come on.
If Aeileen was murdered on the bridge that day, one question still remains. Why? Paul Renfro of the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation states that they do not know why she was there that day. However, several theories have floated around. One is that she interrupted a burglary. Renfro discovered that there had been reports of burglaries in her neighborhood in the weeks and months prior to her death. Pat believes in this theory. He believes that the assailants did not know that she was home. When they came in and found her, they did not want to leave her in case she could identify them. Anderson believes that the case can be solved if someone talks and admits their involvement in it. No one knows what exactly happened to Aeileen on the remote country bridge that day. Pat is still searching for answers. Her death is constantly on his mind, day and night. He will not stop looking into it until it is solved. Authorities believe that Aileen's death may be connected to several burglaries in her neighborhood. They suspect that burglars plan to hit her home, assuming that nobody was there. They believe that when she walked in on them, they abducted and killed her. According to one article, some jewelry was missing from the home, which supports the burglary theory. There has been some speculation that Aeileen may have suffered from a serious medical emergency or brain ailment that caused her to leave her home in a hurry and crash her car. However, no evidence has been found to support this theory.
Okay, so there's my theory there about it being a possible medical emergency, and they're also possibly going with the idea that there were, burglaries in the area, therefore, she could have been a victim of that. The only issue I have with that is normally people who rob homes are not very confrontational. They go in quickly, they get what they want, and then they leave. To be honest, in my opinion, I view criminals who are burglars, I view them to be a little bit more the cowardly bunch. But who knows? This may be one of those weird outliers that, that actually would hurt somebody that if they're there. But that is it for this portion of the reading. Thank you, Jasmine. It was very nice to have you here. So basically, I'm going to pick up the slack from this point forward. So for the extra notes here, let's actually close this out. Extra notes. This case originally aired on the November 29th, 1987 special number 4 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. This was actually, I think this one of the first times that Robert Stack was actually used as the host. It was later reprofiled in the Dennis Farina hosted series on the April 5th, 2010 episode. It was also featured, oh my god, it was also featured in the first episode of the podcast The Trail Went Cold. OSBI investigator Paul Winfro was also interviewed by Dwayne McCorkindale and Michael St. Clair and Dennis Reese. And the Dennis Reese cases, sorry. He was interviewed for those cases, sorry. Sadly, on August 20th, 2013, Pat passed away at the age of 81. So if he actually survived to today, he would have been roughly 92, depending on when he was born. Without ever learning the true circumstance behind Aileen's death, in 2018, their son Fred passed away at the age of 56. A reward is being offered for information leading to a conviction in this case. So, and let's see here. We have Aeileen Conway at Find a Grave, so we can click on that. Aeileen Ann Anderson Conway. She was born in 1935. June 15th, 1935, in Lawton, Comanche County, Oklahoma, USA. Her date of passing was April 29th, 1986. She was 50 years old. Same location that she was born. She was buried at the Highland Cemetery in the Lawton, Comanche County, Oklahoma. The plot is at Block 45, row, or Lot 1, space 5. And it just says mother. Let's actually take some look at the pictures here, shall we? Okay, so I think this picture was taken from one of the stills on the video of this case. Here we have her tombstone. And here's another picture. I'm guessing this could have been like a family photo. This looks more casual, I guess you could say. It looks like that if you were to zoom out, you'd probably see like the husband and possibly their son. And here we have the family plot, it looks like. Different time of day. Tombstone, and the final picture is another tombstone. Let's take a look at some of her family members, shall we? So we have parents. Her father was Patrick Isaac, or also known as Pat Anderson, 1912 to 1999. Her mother was Freda Bell Cook Anderson, 1914 to 2003. So she outlived her husband by a couple years. Their son, that's her husband, Patrick Joseph Conway Jr. or Sr. 1931 to 2013. They were married in 1953, and then their child, Fred William Conway, 1961 to 2018. It's kind of sad. It literally looks like the entire family has passed away, and it's sad. Like this kind of website, it freezes. It's like a camera. It freezes everything in a specific period of time. So all we know here from this is it looks like the entire family's passed away. And then we have, flowers that people have left. But that is the case of Aeileen Conway, the case reading. I'm going to go blow my nose and get something to drink. And then when I return, it will be my final thoughts. So stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Ketchup, tomatoes, onions,
mustard, ketchup, and mayonnaise.
Cheese, lettuce, and onions.
Onions, mustard, and pickles.
Tomatoes, relish, and cheese.
At Wendy's, you get lots and lots of your favorite toppings. Anyone who offers less is giving you less of a hamburger.
There's always one that stands out in the crowd. Now through October 6th, JCPenney is the one, with 20% off on all our pantyhose, 99 cents and up. Even the cotton shaper pantyhose. And 20% off on all our panties, too. Briefs or bikinis, sensible panties or sensational panties. This is one sale you won't walk away from.
This is JCPenney.
This is the birth of Unisom, a different generation sleep aid. The only one with doxylamine, proven effective. In clinical tests, new Unisom helped people feel drowsy, so they fell asleep faster, an average of 23 minutes faster, and helped them sleep better all night than they did without Unisom. When you occasionally have trouble sleeping, make every minute count. Take new Unisom and fall asleep faster.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all enjoying the episode. Before I get on with my final thoughts, there was something I actually wanted to share in the first segment, and that was I actually like to hold, or I don't want to say I like to, well, I like to, but I haven't done it a lot. I've just started doing this recently, and I like to hold polls on my the YouTube page, and they're, most of the time they're going to be Unsolved Mysteries related, but anyway. So I done 3 polls, and they were kind of regarding some of the cases I covered already, But anyway, so the first poll was, do people believe if Dave Davis murdered his wife? Basically, he claimed that she fell off the horse and it was an accident. The people who voted clearly believe that Dave Davis was a murderer, and I agree. The next one, let's see here. Now, I did the George Marsh, the second poll down in the middle that you can see. I covered the update to the George Marsh case. And basically, I asked if people actually watched the full George Marsh case when it aired on television. And all the people who voted said yes, they watched it. Awesome. I'm sad that they don't have the actual case on Unsolved Mysteries YouTube channel. Basically, it's just the update. And then one of the questions I really wanted to ask people was on fright factor. What case is more scary? And the person who actually voted, but the two choices was the Allagash abductions or the Tallman House ghost. I thought for sure somebody was going to put down Tallman House, because I'll be honest, I think that case was fucking scary as hell. But the person who voted actually went with Allagash abductions, so it really kind of, threw me for a loop. Is it spooky? Yeah, but I'm not sure if, personally for me, I'm not sure if it actually is more scary than Tallman House. But anyway, so I just want to thank everybody who voted. It means a lot to me. As always, I'm going to be putting up these polls all the time. I currently have one on the YouTube channel, and that's about it. So it's let's get on with the final thoughts, shall we? This case, it's a little bit of an enigma, basically, in my opinion. I can understand why people think that she could have been murdered, but I can also see why that she could have had a medical emergency, and that's how she died. She died trying to get help for herself. However, it seems like there's also kind of a little bit of deception here, like not everything is the way that it looks like. So this is one of those cases that anybody could, it could go either way. She could have died due to a medical accident, or it could have been murder. Medical, I can understand the medical portion being like she was doing these things around the house. She may have had a stroke or some sort of mental impairment, and then she left. And that would explain why she was in the car when she died. Maybe, and that could also explain why she didn't take her purse with her. She may have had, like I said, she could have had something happen to her, and she just was not able to think clearly, basically. But I could also understand the whole murder idea because of the fact that there was a string of burglaries in the area, So, like I said, this is one of those cases that almost anybody could be correct. It could be medical, it could be a murder. Who knows? But it's really kind of ultimately it's sad because the family never got the answers to their questions. And sadly, as you saw when we were looking at the Find a Grave website, apparently it looks like the entire family is now dead. So I'm the type of person that always hopes that if somebody is taken from somebody, that they get the closure that they're looking for. And sadly, the Aeileen Conway case is one of those examples that we don't get the closure that we're looking for. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first of 3 cases that will be covered today. The next case coming up will be the Glenn and Bessie Hyde case. And that is actually going to be an interesting case. That is a case about a newlywed couple who on their honeymoon, if I remember correctly, they went down the Snake River through the Grand Canyon, if I remember correctly. And they both seem to have disappeared. So, I will see you coming up pretty soon for that case, and then after that, you'll have to see what's after that. So until next time, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great weekend. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.